The NCAA tournament has returned to New York City for the second time in 3 years. This time in the borough of Brooklyn at the Barclays Center. And in our first of 4 games here, we feature the 15-seeded UNC Asheville Bulldogs and the Villanova Wildcats. Winner of this game will advance to a Sunday matchup against either Iowa or Temple. Villanova, UNC Asheville, the first of 4. Vern Lundquist along with Jim Spanarkel. Can a 15 seed beat it to? If so, how does Asheville do it?
Well, Vern, I think this one's going to be fairly simple. If Villanova, who shoots the ball a lot from the three-point stripe, if they're making their shots, then they might be in good shape this afternoon. But keep in mind, the Bulldogs are very, very good. Number 2 in the nation at defending the 3. That should really play into this game.
All right, let's introduce you to the lineups for these 2 teams. Nick McDevitt in his 3rd year as the head coach at UNC Asheville, and he is enjoying the trip. On the top line, Kevin Vanatta, Dylan Smith, Ahmad Thomas, Dwayne Sutton, and Sam Hughes. For Villanova, Ryan Archidiakono, Jalen Brunson, Josh Hart, Chris Jenkins, and Daniel Ochefu. Jay Wright, 15th season as the head coach at Villanova. Our officials today, Mark Whitehead, Anthony Jordan, and Paul Thea. Asheville 22-11, Villanova 29-5. And the big fella takes it.
And here we go. Good to be with you again, and we'll have some fun.
Archidiakono gets it back in the hands of Jalen Brunson, number 1. That's Kevin Vanatta defending him. Back outside, pump fake, Jenkins. There's the shot from the corner, and that's good for 3.
And there's the start with Villanova. Now all of a sudden they pick up. They want to rattle the Bulldogs a little bit early on. That's a pretty good move by Jay Wright, I think.
Archidiakono, there's the trap on the far side. Back outside. Dwayne Sutton. They start 2 freshman guards, does UNC Asheville.
Yeah, who are taller than 2 of their forwards, actually.
Yes. That's Jalen Brunson. Back-to-back 3s now for Villanova.
Yeah, and the Bulldogs have to be careful to start this game. They want to make sure that they get a shot going towards the basket if they can.
From behind, foul is called on Chris Jenkins. How about these freshman guards who are taller than the forwards?
Yeah, they're very talented guys. I mean, Dylan Smith is a player who really is very active with the basketball, make things happen. Sutton, his backcourt mate, very terrific player also. And Sutton finishes one off right there on cue, and I think that makes sense. Get a shot going to the basket early, especially when you're down 6-0.
Well, Villanova has hit back-to-back 3s. In the lane for a long time. Bad shot.
And keep in mind, these guys from the Bulldogs will rebound as a gang. They'll come back. Committee rebounding. Oof, that's a tough pass.
Yes, it is. 1-on-2, no numbers here, but it doesn't matter. Jalen Brunson off the glass and in.
And after every bucket, it looks like Nova's going to push it up a little bit, starting with a 1-2-2. Take some time off the clock, Vern, here, and also look for a little deflection.
Tough pass by Travel, and they force the turnover. Already this press has been effective.
It really has, and watch the way they start running the floor. They get out, and this one's a pretty easy one, but you know, Brunson just finishing it off, and Jay Wright's team looking sharp to start things off. Coming off that difficult loss to Seton Hall in the Big East tournament.
Mikael Bridges, a freshman, redshirt, number 25, on for the Wildcats of Villanova.
Yeah, so we're going to throw a little 1-3-1 possibly at you here from our end.
Okay.
And see how it is upstairs.
Archidiakono with the pass. Wow. And it's a 10-2 Villanova lead. Kevin Vanatta. Will Weeks is also off the bench, and there's a nice shot. Ahmad Thomas is sophomore from Danville, Virginia.
Yeah, last few games he's been playing well for the Bulldogs, so I'd expect him to continue to play that kind of game. Let's just see if Villanova tries to get it down deep a little bit.
Nice rebound.
Nice hands
nice
there
steal,
too,
yes.
by Smith.
Dylan Smith. Got it. That's for 3.
What did we just say? He's a senior or a freshman? That looked like a senior play, didn't it? Coming down, wide open floor, and he pulls up.
Young man who finished out his high school career at Hoover High in Alabama, suburb of Birmingham, much more well known for his football program. He's a native of Mobile and moved to, whoops, nice strip defensively by Dwayne Sutton, number 22. Dylan Smith.
With Jenkins on the floor too, defending out front right now. And 10 seconds on the shot clock.
Well, Smith lost it.
An ankle breaker by himself.
Boy, it was. You're right. Off the mark. Here comes Villanova. Jenkins pulls up, takes a 3. Not this time. Offensive board. Get it back outside. Take the 3. Not this time either.
Watch out.
Whoa! Well done, high jumper.
Yes, sir. Josh Hart going over the top. Oh.
It's always frightening,
yeah,
isn't it?
I guess I'm glad it's on the other side of the floor,
Yes.
but this is a beautiful play. I mean, that just shows you these kids, the awareness, their quickness, smarts, and athletic ability all packed into one move.
The first time I ever did 4 games in one day, first year we did it, 1999 with Al McGuire.
Oh, boy.
And in the last game of the night, a guy jumped through. He said, "Welcome to my world, big fella."
You're on your own.
Daniel Ochefu is on the bench. He injured an ankle in the Big East quarterfinals. For more on that, let's go to Allie LaForce with the Powerade sideline report.
Thank you, Vern. It's been a slow recovery for Ochefu, who sprained that ankle months ago. He's been working on it multiple hours per day, trying to get it better. I was able to talk to the team doctor, Mike Duncan, who said from a stability standpoint, he's really good to go out there. They held him out of practice 3 days this week as a precaution, but he said he felt the best he's ever felt in practice yesterday.
There's another missed 3, bringing to mind this 28% defense against the 3 put up by Asheville, the Bulldogs. There's a miss.
Yeah, and they need to get that balance, which they had that trip defensively, just to make sure. I'm surprised that Ochefu does not just go on the blocks and see, let's test, as Ali just mentioned about his ankle. Let's test his ankle down on the blocks and see what he can do with the basketball. He's got size and strength.
Here he is. The size is 6'11". Slightly taller than anybody playing for Asheville. Back cut. Nikel Bridges, redshirt freshman out of Malvern, Pennsylvania. And here's the pressure again.
Yep, have Bridges, who's 6'7", up there in the front. Long arms, looks at his deflections.
Thomas. Willie Weeks, number 32. Stolen. Archie Diacono. No numbers. So they'll go to the half-court set.
And a little lazy bounce pass to the post.
Jenkins, yes! Well, they're not shy about putting up the 3.
No, they're not. And that's what they've been doing right off the get-go here with 6 attempts already of their 11. And it's a different type of team when they start making them. Good drive to the basket just then by Sutton.
Well, Asheville, North Carolina, their season record 22-11. They won at Georgetown this year. You ever been there? It's a beautiful, beautiful city. Yeah.
Even though I went to Duke, I never made it over there.
Haughty Duke. Yeah.
Where did that come from?
I don't know. I'm probably going to give you several shots.
That's okay. I love it.
You know, Duke is going to play Yale next.
Yes, they are.
Word is that you can't get into the arena unless you got a 3.5 GPA.
I'll go with that. That's not a bad shot. Could we have gotten in?
No. No. No, only as partial qualifiers.
That's it.
Now, listen. Jim Spanarkel was a 2-time academic All-American with Duke.
Thank you.
I think you did pretty well. Sutton cans the free throw. 15-8, 7-point margin.
Villanova should not have too much trouble with the different types of defenses at half court and all because of the guard play that they have. As a step.
Travel. Josh Hart. Well, Josh Hart really one of the better players for this very good Villanova team.
He really is. He's the total package for them. You know, unanimous first team Big East, the leader on this team. When he's going well, they usually go well.
How about that find? How about that defense? Ochefu knocks it out. And Jay Wright's going to the bench.
And take a look. You see down below, and watch this little hesitation. See that right there? Instead of catching it and trying to go up, that's knowing that you have a shot blocker behind you and you're worried about getting it blocked before it even is attempted to be blocked.
Daryl Reynolds, number 45, on for Ochefu. This is Daryl Smith.
Good hedge
nice
out
screen
front.
by Weeks. Wow. Entry pass. Weeks spins. Nice. Got by Reynolds.
You don't want to put it on the floor too much. There's a big guy down low, but if you do, make sure you put it down and you go down and get it to bring it back up with you so you can explode to the basket. Well done by Weeks.
Phil Booth is also on for Villanova. That's a miss by Brunson.
And that's the way to get back and rebound if you're Thomas. He gets 6.5 rebounds a game.
Weeks, nice. Timeout.
So early on, you think sometimes that Asheville is going to get rattled, but they come back with two strong plays underneath. If they can continue to challenge Villanova, who only block 3 shots a game, why not take it in and see how you can do?
Well, we've got a moment. Let's take a look at Behind the Stats, presented by LG.
Well, Vern, I'd start with this number right here. The opposition, they shut them down pretty good when you think of Asheville, and then Villanova, look at that number. They take a lot of them, as we've touched on already, and if it gets to be a close basketball game, free throw shooting for Villanova is very, very good. Obviously, we have a long way to go to worry about that.
Back to Arcidiacono. Quick pass over to the left. And a foul call. 3-point shooting. So far, they hit their first 2.
And I think one of the differences here that the Bulldogs will probably find is sometimes you have big guys. And Jenkins, for example, is 6'6". So I'm thinking in the Big South, they didn't run into many tall guards who could shoot over them when they're pressuring the three-point strike. Good deflection.
That was from Dylan Smith, number 24. This is Weeks. Thomas, jumper, Dylan Smith, air ball.
Well, maybe that got deflected. That did not.
You think so?
That didn't have any spin whatsoever on it. That ball, it just was a kind of a knuckler going up towards the rim.
That's a shot I would recognize. In my vast career as a star of the hoops.
There you go. You like that knuckleball. Keep guessing.
Yeah. I was short, but nobody noticed because I was so slow. Jumper. In and out. Loose ball picked up by Thomas for Asheville.
And if you were in the club that couldn't jump either, I was the president of that one, so welcome aboard.
Yeah. I saw him slip cardboard under your tennis shoes
You
once.
got it.
Another miss. Ochefu with the rebound. Gets it in the hands of Brunson.
Vern, I do like the way Asheville is continuing to look inside. I think it makes sense, even with Ochefu in there. Keep him busy. Let's test that ankle out, see how he's doing.
He wants the ball. He gets it. Guarded by Weeks. Turnaround jumper. Yes. Nice, soft shot. And he got the roll.
They sure did. And Weeks did had a nice defensive positioning there to force him just to stride away from the basket rather than letting the big fella just turn and go right at the basket. It's nice when you get a friendly roll, though.
Back to Thomas. All 5 of the starters for Asheville averaging in double figures, and not a one of them made the first team All Big South team. That's really the essence of team basketball for these guys. Arcidiacono. Named as a captain midway through his freshman year by Jay Wright.
That's an incredible statement right there when you get a guy as a freshman with a traditional program like Villanova.
Foul is on Sam Hughes. Time has been called. 10:39 to go. Here's Ochefu. Nice and soft.
If you like pina coladas, come on, Chuck, and getting caught in the rain, yeah, baby. And if you're not into yoga, and if you have half a brain, get it, Sam, get it. If you like making love at midnight in the dunes of the Cape, then I'm the one that you look for. Write to me and escape. Ow! Whoa, that's good.
All right, Greg, thank you. We've got a 17-12 game here in that same bracket with Dayton and Syracuse. Approximately 2:45 on CBS, Michigan State against Middle Tennessee.
And Michigan State and Tom Izzo have it going again at the right time of the year. And I guess our buddy Ian Eagle is going to sit back and be a little nervous with that Syracuse game today as a Syracuse alum.
Well, he's one of 74 who graduated in degrees in broadcasting.
That's true. Good
72 of them have been very successful. I don't know the other two. I am working with Lenny Elmore and Chris Webber. Yep. Nice. There's another deflection.
Oh, that's
Thomas, he's on the line. And let's check in with Allie LaForce.
Thank you, Vern. The message in the media timeouts for Coach Wright to his team has been to stay the course and to don't go with the highs and lows of this game. We're facing a very talented basketball team, and we have to stay disciplined and focused. His big concern is defensively. He wants them to continue to pressure the ball and to deny the ball in the post. Well, for UNC Asheville, they want to get the ball inside. That was the message in their timeout, was do not settle for three-pointers. Instead, keep attacking.
There's another three-pointer, and it's saved by Brunson. Back to Hart. This time he'll take the jumper and miss. And a nice rebound for Asheville.
And Allie, I think you're right on with that report just then, because that's exactly what both of these teams are trying to do with their respective end in terms of the offensive side of the floor. Bulldogs want to try, and they keep looking inside for it. And they got to put the ball on the floor and go by somebody, I think.
And down deep, Phil Booth is fronting. There we are. This will be a layup or a dunk.
We would have laid it up. He dunks it. Bridges with the good deflection to get it going.
I forget what generation this is. We would have had a carom off the backboard.
Beautiful. That's what.
There's a term you haven't heard in a while.
That's what the glass is up there for.
Yeah. 9:25 to go first half.
He was still dribbling.
Another quick hands. Looked like he was palming the ball to me.
There you go, another one.
Yeah.
A little bit of traffic in there, though.
Brunson. Uh-oh. Now somehow that all worked, but he missed the shot.
Wow, look at this effort.
That's Ahmad Thomas.
Back in from Asheville, number 32, Will Weeks. Back in for Villanova.
We're happy to have you here on True TV. Tough to say. True TV for basketball, but you should also check out TrueTVIsAthing.com for complete schedules. Went to see Shaquille O'Neal on the Carbonero Effect. Latest clips from new episodes of Impractical Jokers and more. Phil Booth is joined by Archie Diacono.
And this is a little bit of a matchup look by the Bulldogs. Good squeeze in the bottom of the floor there.
Archie Diacono, pump, got it. Nicely done.
And Arch just showing a little simple ball fake just then. You get the perimeter guys. Remember, they're very good at challenging the shot, and they close out quickly, the Bulldogs do. So what do? You put the ball up in the air, get somebody to lift, and then it becomes basic basketball.
Here's Kevin Banata, and the foul before the shot.
So defensively, Vern, if they close out, and they close out totally out of control, that just makes life that much easier for a guard who has the understanding as he does to figure things out on the fly and also in your half-court sets.
Boy, they're going after the basketball and getting it. Here's Brunson, guarded by Banata.
Probably a little quicker competition with Villanova defensively than this team has seen.
Booth out of control a little bit. Saved by Brunson. Now they'll slow it down. They double Ochefu, and he loses it. Well, Villanova good in the transition thus far. There's the quick hands. Time called, 7:56 to go, first half. You'd like? Game summary, take us through this.
Well, I take a look at the number of shots. Look at Villanova's number of shots that they have, and that's because of the turnovers are leading to problems for them. 11 of Villanova's 21 points have come basically off the turnover. So I think if Asheville can be a little bit more controlled, don't try to dribble too much against the perimeter players, because Nova's perimeter guys are good. And here's that zone again.
Dylan Smith out on the point. They get it back to Brunson. Left side, Phil Booth. Oh, they were very unaware of the game clock, shot clock.
That snuck up on everybody.
Including the two guys sitting here talking about it.
Wow, that was quick.
Turnover 1 for the Spanarco Lundquist team.
I didn't turn that over. No, Nova did.
You're right. I don't mean to tag you with that.
We didn't turn that one over.
We didn't know a turnover was about to come.
Not that we haven't had plenty of those in our day.
Yeah, gosh.
Good touch.
There we are. That's Ahmad Thomas, the sophomore out of Danville, who ends the scoring drought. That's the first basket in about 5.5 minutes.
And they'd like to get Thomas on track, because in their tournament just recently, he played very well in the first game at 27 points, 18 in the second, so he can score and has been scoring lately.
Outside, jumper, no. Rebound, offensive board, Archie Diacono. So efficient. Another miss, this one by Josh Hart.
And there's Thomas. And all 5 of these guys for the Bulldogs will push the ball up the floor, so they almost all can play the guard position, at least bringing it to half court.
Loose ball. Watch live games on your computer, phone, tablet, or streaming device with NCAA March Madness Live. Watch now at ncaa.com/March Madness or download the app today.
And now one of the beauties so far of the tournament has been watching you download that app to your iPhone.
I think folks know how adept I am with technical things. There's the travel again. But our producer, Craig Silver, said, listen, it's 2016.
That's it.
You really need to learn how to do this. So I watched the game on True TV last night.
Wow.
In my room on my cell phone.
I am very impressed.
I'm still not going to tweet. I'm just telling you.
There's this thing called the web.
I found it quite helpful. All right. 21-14. A 12 seed has defeated a 5 in 25 of the last 28. And we had 2 of them yesterday. Little Rock had to go 2 overtimes to oust Purdue. And some folks I know had Baylor in their bracket going quite a ways.
They were a team, Baylor, that was pretty athletic in terms of a lot of people, you're absolutely right, thought they could go up and down with their athleticism. And great win for Yale. How about that story?
Yeah, it really was. First time in the tournament since '62.
2, yep.
And the first tournament win ever. Darrell Reynolds is going to come in for Ochefu now. And again, there's going to be a modest press put into effect.
Here, the Bulldogs get it 1 pass up the sideline. There you go. And then start to attack if you can. Pretty good transition defense, though, by Villanova.
This is Dwayne Sutton, number 22, turns the corner. And a foul is going to be called. Well, in his 3rd season now, the head coach at Asheville. Long-time participant in the program. He played guard 97 to 2001. And assistant coach to Eddie Beidenbach.
Oh.
What a character, huh?
Absolutely.
And now Nick McDevitt with a record of 54-42. Played from 9. Here we are. 97 to 2001.
And I thought it was interesting, Vern, when we were speaking to him yesterday, you know, a small school coming up against Villanova, him saying, you know, we're not just happy to be here. You know, we are happy to be here, but that doesn't stop us. We want to compete, we want to play, we want to advance. So, you know, just we'll see how it. You know, they're hanging around.
Yeah.
You know, to give them their due, they are hanging around.
They're only 6 down.
And I think if he had to go in right now and talk to his team, if this was a half, I think he would say, you know, guys, we're down 6. We haven't really played well. You know, we've made some costly mistakes.
Off the front rim for Archie Diacono. And here comes Asheville with a chance to carve deeper into the margin.
You notice too, Vern, just then how 3 of those blue shirts were trying to track that ball down. They all go after and help one another rebounding.
From the corner, Vanetta got it for 3.
And just under 40%. He's the heart and soul of this team when he's getting that shot to go down. But how about the quickness around the corner just then with that release and the pass?
Jump stop.
Good close defensively.
Yes, it was.
Wasn't it? Wow, 4 blue shirts tracking that one. Nice touch.
Nope.
Right.
Rebound, Villanova's Josh Hart. Now back to Archie Diacono.
See all this back here, Vern?
Yep.
They want to try to get the ball in there, but watch also the blue shirts. If they try to get it behind them like that, and this is man-to-man right now, then you'll see that closing, the effect of bringing 4 blue shirts to the middle of the floor.
7 on the shot clock, rejection.
Yeah, there it was just then, but they reached in.
Asheville fouls number 24, Dylan Smith.
So when you take a look, you're going to have a shooter who's going to camp over here. Now watch the way he gets himself set. He's going to be facing pretty much, he catches, but his feet are facing in the shooting direction. So all he needs to do is catch the ball, receive it. His feet are set. It's a very quick release. And I just never like those lefties, Vern. They always look good doing anything they do. Beautiful stroke.
Darrell Reynolds gets the first. He shoots 1 more. And Ochefu's going to replace him now. So they're spotting Ochefu's minutes in this game. Again, he injured an ankle in the quarterfinals of the Big East tournament at Madison Square Garden.
And all the injury reports we heard from Villanova was that he's 100%.
Right. So zone look here.
Very good. Yep. You did some coaching in your day, huh?
I did, yes. When I wasn't scoring madly.
Speaking of, Smith will score madly. And the scoring goes upstairs.
Now that was a misfire and a lucky break. Here's Ochefu. There you are.
And one of the things the Bulldogs have to be careful with is when they score, you can tell their body action is good at the defensive end, but don't start leaning towards half court. Don't get too anxious defensively, even though that's their trademark.
Renata, spin move, Weeks, short. Pulled down by Jalen Brunson, number 1. Here's Hart. Ah, yes. Wonderful play.
Nice little switch of the hands, too, on the delivery.
Back to 6.
And that's what a turnover will do. Villanova looks to push. I wouldn't say they go up and down constantly, but they're very selective, especially in transition after a turnover.
Dwayne Sutton, up and under. Interesting, I was watching McDevitt, and there's not a lot of noise here, but enough. He was trying to get the referee's attention to no avail.
And look at Ochefu down low. And then Hart's going to be a little trickier. Tucks the basketball away the first time, keeps it in the right hand, and finishes it off on the layup.
Reminder coming up on AT&T at the half. Scores, highlights, and the latest NCAA tournament news. That's all coming up at the half. 3:15 to go before the break. Archie Diacono, Hart, Booth, Ochefu, loose ball. Jay Wright mildly disagreeing with that call.
So here's the closure at half court, and maybe a body against the head just then. But you don't have a place to go with it. And one of the things that Jay Wright was aware of and knows that this team, when we were speaking to him yesterday, is kind of built to beat his team with the way they play small ball if they're playing their game.
Exactly. Archie Diacono. He's guarded by Banata. There's the switch.
Because the Bulldogs play small, obviously. We've been touching on it with their lineup. A couple of the guards are bigger than their forwards.
And here's Archie Diacono, front rim. They missed their last 6 from 3. They're now 3 of 12, make it 4 of 13.
So you get one to go down, but I wouldn't just settle for it. You better keep looking down low. This is not a shot blocking team. The Bulldogs, they only block 3 a game, both of them the same.
Fade away. Nope. Nice rebound. Not a nice shot.
Now Sutton, you're right, getting the ball on the rebound, but then his body and his momentum took him away from the basket. And if you do that, you better make sure you go very, very high to try to get it back to compensate for the fall away.
No. 4 of 14. Sam Hughes had it. Gives it to Dylan Smith. Travel. And how these freshman guards, Dylan Smith and Dwayne Sutton.
I think they're fine so far. 13 between the two of them. It's the quote-unquote big stage against a very, very talented Villanova team, so I think they've done very well in terms of not showing any rattle to their game. A little bit too many turnovers is probably the only negative thing, 9 right now that they have.
Now, we mentioned before that both of the freshman guards are listed at 6'5". The forwards are 6'4" and 6'3".
Yeah, now they do have 6 turnovers between them, with 4 for Smith.
That one kicked or touched.
But I want to only say, Vern, that maybe 2 or 3 of those were the rattle types where they put the ball down in traffic where they're not supposed to.
Darrell Reynolds out. Chris Jenkins back after an extended rest. And he gets it in the hands of Jalen Brunson.
Villanova will have a couple of possessions in the last minute and 25 seconds. So important for them to execute offensively to stretch the lead.
Archie Diacono, you bet.
Nice fill, too. He's very, very good at understanding when he's supposed to fill a spot on the floor.
Largest lead of the game. It's in double digits now for the first time. Here's Kevin Banata, Upper Arlington, Ohio.
1 minute remains in the first half.
Hughes. That's for inside the arc. It's 2 and no foul called. He got a pretty good bump on his way down.
He sure did.
Final 45 seconds. Back outside, Archie Diacono. Another 3.
They're spotting up well. The spot up is designed to make sure you're paying attention to where the ball is. And when you get a guy aggressively doing something with the ball as a teammate, fill a spot, make sure he can see you so it's not a blind spot. Both of these teams have fouls to give.
About a 4-second differential. Shot clock, game clock. This is Banata. 5 to shoot. Spin. Traffic. Nope. At the buzzer. Wave it off.
So I've spoken about a little bit of fill in the gap. Here's what I mean by that. The ball goes down towards the basket. You have to come find a spot on the floor where Brunson can find you. And this one's a little bit just more simple because you get 2 guys squeezing the ball at the same time. Brunson just has to wait for it.
Here's Archie Diacono hustling. Jumper. Yes! Holy cow!
But there's a mistake defensively, though, Vern, because they had fouls to give. They were trying to swat at him to try to get a hand on him to get a foul called. They let him come down the court and get that buzzer beater off.
Archie Diacono beats the buzzer, and Villanova winds up on a 15-4 run, largest lead of the game. And let's go to Jay Wright, who's with Allie.
Coach, your team led for the entire first half, but UNC Asheville was able to keep it interesting. What's keeping them in this game?
This is a much closer game than the score. We hit a couple threes there at the end. They're an outstanding defensive team. Really good. They're really physical. It's tough to get the ball inside. They contest threes really well. They're just a great defensive team.
Defensively, we saw you show full court pressure, half court pressure, a little bit of zone. What's working well?
A little bit of everything. They're good off the dribble, so we're just trying to mix up. They find isolations really well.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks.
Allie, thank you. End of the half, 40-26. Take another look at Archie Diacono. That's 1-3. And we'll send you to AT&T at the half after this message and a word from your local station. Back in the Barclays in Brooklyn, Villanova leading 40-26. A 2 seed against a number 15. What stood out most for you, Jim, in the first half?
You know, Vern, I think what stood out most to me was the last minute and a half or so where Villanova hit a few of their threes, especially the last one there, the buzzer beater at the end of the first half, because up until that point, I thought it was fairly evenly matched in terms of the way the Bulldogs kind of hung around with Villanova.
Let's check in with Allie LaForce.
I was able to talk to Coach McDevitt, and he said obviously turnovers were a huge point of emphasis in the locker room at halftime. Over half of Villanova's points have come off of turnovers, so they need to take better care of the ball. But he said for 17 minutes of that first half, he was satisfied with how the team was playing. It was just those final 3 minutes. He said he told the team before the game, this is a Villanova team that loves to go on runs. So that big run at the end of the half is going to happen, and it will probably happen again in the second half. We just have to know how to rebuttal.
All right, Allie, thank you. That was a 15-4 run to conclude the first 20 minutes of play. Into the corner, Dylan Smith, jumper, Hughes rather, Sam Hughes.
So the best thing that can happen for the Bulldogs, Vern, is come out and get a good, comfortable set in the half court. They get Hughes, who's shooting the ball at 39% from long range, so he has the ability to step out if need be.
Here's Hart, pull-up jumper, nice. Got the shooter's bounce.
And Hart has that ability to get himself in the middle of the floor, which is very important. And gets the defender sliding away from him, allows him to pull back.
Off the glass, no. Ochefu with the rebound.
Now from Villanova's perspective, Jay Wright is looking to put together 3 or 4 minutes of real good execution at the offensive end to get the shots. Here's a post-up play. And I like the way he's gotten the big guy involved early on, because he really didn't touch the ball that much in the first half. And he had a couple of touches here and there and a couple of putbacks, but if they can get him involved and spread this court a little bit, they'll be in good shape.
16 points, largest lead of the game. Empty pass, and Sam Hughes has the basket.
And it's usually when this team, when Hughes is playing well, he's kind of like a wild card for the Bulldogs, because if he's playing well, they generally follow his lead. Yeah, there's a miscue.
Jalen Brunson lost it. Venata. The putback is good from Ahmad Thomas off the miss by Kevin Venata.
And Venata's miss is important just because he was able to get that shot up and not get it deflected, Vern. So that gives his teammates who are running the floor well in transition the opportunity to finish that one off.
Archie Diacono, they zone chases him down. Ochefu, nope.
He has to convert that. If they get that shot, he needs to put that in.
No numbers here, so they pull it back to the half-court set. Here's Venata, jumper, 3. In and out, followed by Hughes, and a foul called.
And Vern, I was just going to say, if that shot went in, then they have a momentum shift just then. You could feel it. And so you take a look at Hughes. Just catch. Nova goes by him, an easy one. And now watch how he gets this shot up off the second guy. Ball's off the rim. There was a little bit of separation, so that's a legal follow-up. It's not on the not offensive interference.
Sam Hughes at 73% for the season. And off the bench, here comes Phil Booth and Mikal Bridges.
I would say it's a little bit more quality depth that Villanova has, and Jay Wright just kind of opening that revolving door over there, spacing the minutes.
Yeah, essentially Asheville has 6 players.
Right.
0 for 2.
And if you're ever going to chip away against a quality team like Villanova, you must make those free throws.
Villanova team that was ranked #1 February 8th, first time in the school's history, and then lost to Seton Hall in the Big East final and probably cost them a #1 seed and a possible trip to their hometown of Philadelphia.
Well, at the offensive end, Ochefu's ankle looks pretty good.
Yeah, it does.
Not to say he's not playing defense, but I always thought as a player your injuries hurt more when you're on the defensive end, Vern, than they did on the offensive.
Quick hands, but unable to save it is Mikael Bridges. Ashefu.
So watch, all he needs to do is the defender is totally out of position. And using that size, and look at this finish. But with him at 6'11", as you touched on before, and 245, just way too strong for any of the Bulldogs to handle. And he loves to jump out on screens, as we just saw.
Venata up and under, no. Ochefu dishes at the other end. Here's Booth. And 1. Ahmad Thomas got back and got the foul. That's his 3rd foul.
Yeah, want to put a little air under this pass, and that's perfectly. Arch sending it down the floor. And just an easy finish for Booth, but that was a beautiful delivery.
Did you define traveling for me?
I thought that was travel.
Thank you.
Yep. That's a good catch. I thought that when I first saw it too, and I agree with you.
Whoops.
Time to get a good shot if you're the Bulldogs.
And there is Ochefu, but Sutton able to get it up and over him and into the basket.
Just a simple stop. He stops on a dime and freezes Ochefu as the big guy, because Ochefu had to worry about the guy behind him also.
Booth, no look pass. Ochefu, well, he has been something of a factor here in the second half.
Yeah, the last couple of days are wondering just how he's going to respond with that ankle injury that he's had, and he looks perfectly okay with the catches and deliveries down low. 5 of 7 from the field, 11 points.
Sutton, bodies go down.
So park yourself in the middle. Where is everybody? Nobody's home. A couple of ball fakes. Probably gets as easy as one of the afternoon.
Nick McDevitt, 3rd year as the head coach. He's having a conversation with one of the officials, Mark Whitehead, but it's of no interest to his son Cooper and his wife Lauren. Oh, come on, sit down, fella. You're blocked. Thank you very much.
There you go.
And now we need the lady. There we are. We got
beautiful.
A little popcorn. That's Lauren and their 20-month-old son, Cooper.
He's a beautiful young boy, that's for sure.
There we are, off the glass.
Let's see if Villanova continues. Vern, in the first half, we talked about how they shoot the ball from the outside. There's a nice deflection by Sutton out front, but from that standpoint, now they're plugging the ball down low.
Let's get more from Allie LaForce.
Thank you, Vern. I was able to listen into UNC Asheville's last timeout. Coach's message was, we don't get back on defense, they dunk. We give up the easy buckets. And he looked at him and said, that's simply dumb. We're playing dumb basketball. He acted like they were best friends. Guys, how can we fix this? And his message was, let's chip away little by little. Don't give up the easy ones and keep our heads up. That's the key.
Well, that would be an easy one.
Yeah, that was on uncue there, that one.
Right.
Defensively, we're going to stop the ball going to the basket. But how about Jay Wright's team? The strategy at halftime was, let's plug this ball to the middle of the floor. Let's get the buckets, and they continue to do it.
From the corner 3, got it. And Dylan Smith, the freshman out of Mobile. Now here comes Villanova. They are 6 of 7 from the field in this half, and every one of them has been like this one in the paint, except Mikal Bridges misses. Here comes Venata. Nice pass.
Ooh.
No reward.
That was a nice break, too, coming down off the miss by Villanova. Their body language defensively is a little bit better, but they have to start going and double teaming. Don't leave them there one-on-one.
That's a foul on Willie Weeks.
A good pass, a nice break, and unfortunately for the Bulldogs, they just missed that one. And Thomas can't get it to go down, just puts it up a little strong to the left.
Well, we've talked a lot about that now, Chefu at the line. His sprained ankle, but he also suffered a concussion earlier in the year and missed 3 games because of that. Josh Hart is back on.
Plays Jalen Brunson and Mikal Bridges.
And Ochefu shoots one more.
One of the players who's number 45, Reynolds, for Villanova, really benefited from Ochefu's injuries because he gets some extra playing time. And he just checks in right now.
Ochefu will get a rest now.
Ooh.
Oops.
Smith thought one of his teammates.
What did he think?
One of his teammates was behind there for a second. And
right.
I think it was Smith in the middle just then, Sutton on the right, almost in front of us. And I think he thought the pass was for Sutton, and he just didn't go up and get it.
Whoa! Wrestle for the ball, and it's out of bounds. It will be Asheville.
Watch the effort coming across.
Wow.
And Sutton loses his balance, and watch where he ends up, Vern. Watch over here. He's going to come all the way across.
Sometimes it's tough to be a cheerleader.
Exactly. I think he dodged about 70% of them.
Here's Smith.
The perimeter defense pretty good. That means you have to drive by somebody.
And that's another turnover. How about the assist on made field goals today?
Well, that's been one of the things that Jay Wright's team does very, very well in terms of looking for one another. They average about 16 per game and just really smooth with the basketball at times. He has to like that, and I think he really appreciates the fact that they've executed his strategy change at the half, looking to go down low.
17 assists on 21 made field goals. From the corner, no. Venata saves it. Puts it in the hands of Sutton. He loses it.
Outran it.
Here's Josh Hart.
That might have been a walkout at half court just then, too.
Thomas gets back. Now drives the lane and is fouled. Well, Kansas, a big winner over Austin Peay last night, 105-79. UConn knocked off Colorado. So they will meet in Des Moines on CBS tomorrow, approximately 7:45. And meanwhile, out in Spokane, 2 more games. And the winners of our 2 afternoon games will meet here on Sunday.
Well, if UConn's going to make one of those runs again, Vern, Kansas is a pretty good basketball team. Let's see what happens with that one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Put up 100 plus. I don't care who you're playing against. It's scoring.
Thomas has picked up his 4th foul on that last one. Oh, my goodness.
Beautiful touch in the corner there, huh, by Jenkins.
Chris Jenkins gets the 3. And it's a 54-39 margin right now.
And Jenkins played well in the Big East tournament. 15 and 21 in 2 of their games.
Jumper, baseline. Good.
Sam Hughes with the basket. Asheville
Timeout called Asheville. Sam Hughes gets the basket. 12:31 to go in the ballgame. All right, Greg, we saw VCU on this very court last weekend. They lost in the championship to St. Joe's and Phil Martelli, but they are a fun basketball team to watch. Villanova band. Remember this a year ago?
Do, yeah.
Yeah. That's what happens when you lose in the second round.
That's it. Emotional.
Yeah.
Not only the players, coaches, everybody's involved. That's the beauty of March Madness.
12-12 to go in this one. The foul is on Will Weeks. He is, by the way, the tallest player for Asheville, and he's listed at 6'6". Now you think about Ochefu in that middle, and Weeks has had to guard him some. And we're back in the zone now for Asheville.
And part of why Ochefu is 5 of 7 from the floor.
Mikal Bridges, Hart, jumper for 3. Nope. In the corner, Asheville ball.
Simple decision by Smith there to let that ball go out of bounds, too.
11:54 to go in this one. 57-41. Nova rolling. $11:54 to go in this meeting. First round South region between the second-seeded Wildcats of Villanova and the Bulldogs from Asheville, seeded number 15 out of the Big South. Sutton. Venata.
And a zone by Villanova.
And a scrappy one, really. Off the mark for Venata. The follow is no good. Rebound, Mikal Bridges. Jalen Brunson, Josh Hart.
Yeah, that's the second one that on the layup side that the Bulldogs, they could really have used those 4 points.
Here's Weeks at 6'6", Ochefu at 6'11".
He's got a very nice touch, as we've seen this afternoon. And once again, they bite a little bit with the double team. It's not a hard double team. They come back off it, soften it up, and that's when he can make his decision to go one-on-one.
Ochefu with 15 points now. That is 5 more than his per-game average over the course of the year.
And Vern, if Villanova is going to make a run this year, they have to balance their attack. We know they take a lot of threes, but they must get scoring inside.
That one bounces out.
Checking back in for Villanova, number 2, Chris Jenkins.
Take another look at Ochefu.
See right here, that's just really a soft dig in terms of a guy, the perimeter guy going after him. Either you go after him and commit, double team it, and then force it to the kick out. Maybe that's why they defend the 3 very well, because they don't go down and double team.
Right.
There's a reason.
Venata. Oh, he almost lost control.
Villanova foul is on number 2, Chris Jenkins.
Well, coming next from here, Iowa and Temple. Both teams coached by a friend, and that will be on True TV after this one is in the books. Chris Jenkins limping as he heads over to the bench. That's Jenkins' 3rd foul as well. There's Fran McCaffrey.
And I think Fran McCaffrey and Iowa and everybody else who's following this tournament is going to really wonder, Vern, what team shows up for him. They were very, very good in January, February this year, made it to the number 3 ranking, and lost the last 4 out of 5 games. So who shows up? They have some talent, there's no question, and they like to go up and down. Temple does not.
Yeah, that's right. Temple would like a game in the 30s.
I hope it's not in the 30s.
Oh, my goodness.
Then we can play again.
Empty your saddles, Mr. Spanarkle.
At that pace.
Nice. Phil Booth, that's his 33rd made 3 of the year. Venata, no answer. Hart with the rebound. Jumper, good.
Now they're on that cruise control offense.
Yeah. Yes, they are.
This is where it looks pretty for Villanova.
Timeout
Well, let's take a look at the last two. First of all, Phil Booth and then Jalen Brunson.
And Booth separates just a little bit to get some room, but he gives Villanova a nice punch off the bench. And then they balance it up, getting it inside the 15-foot mark.
Now let's check in the progress of the two freshman guards for Asheville.
Clearly two very good players. When you look at it in the backcourt, you have to talk about the 7 turnovers between the two of them, and that's thrown their team off. And obviously with Villanova doing a good job out front. Biggs can't convert down low.
Nope. That one tipped out of bounds by Sam Hughes. Hughes, by the way, the only senior on this Asheville team, so they've got almost everybody coming back. Winners of the Big South, and in order they knocked off Liberty, High Point, and Winthrop to earn the automatic bid into the championship.
And Hughes was a valuable player for them, having 4 block shots at the defensive end.
Back outside, Jenkins. And 1.
Well, there's the classic opportunity of Jenkins turning down what's a pretty good shot for him. But you get a better shot if you give it to Reynolds in the corner. So let's take, there's Reynolds getting his shoulders around the defender. Thomas not stepping in front, cutting off the baseline. And you're in bad shape if you give up the baseline and you have a half a stride behind a guy.
Knocked outside. Booth, Bridges, and Brunson.
Jenkins got his hand on that off the missed free throw.
Left, oh, nice.
And he's got a little bit of size to post up too, Vern. When you look at him, he's very, very strong, but has a soft touch.
11 unanswered now for Villanova. Off the glass and no good. Rebound, Wildcats. Booth back outside. Jenkins for 3. Rebound Sutton for Asheville. Hell ball, possession arrow, Villanova. Archie Diacono is getting ready to come back. So is Ochefu and Josh Hart.
And watch how Booth attacks this basketball. He gets right after it, continues to head to the floor to make sure his teammates have time to come in and help him out. It's a hard-nosed effort going after that one.
.8:24 to go. Now here's Archie Diacono back on the floor. Back outside. And a foul called on Asheville.
They continue to drive it on that sequence, Vern. They drive it to the left. They always seem to have a guy trailing that player on his right hip or his right shoulder, so he knows to throw that ball back.
Foul is called on Kevin Venata, number 10. Archie Diacono, jumper, perfect. Grew up a Villanova fan. Mother and dad both graduated from Villanova. Highly recruited by Villanova, but then Billy Donovan of Florida made a run at him. Ah, nice. That ends a 14-0 run. Jay Wright was telling us yesterday that Archie Diacono wanted to play at Villanova, and he said he's a local high school hero. You had to make sure he was going to be a big player for you. You don't want to recruit a local star and then have him on the bench for 4 years.
Yeah, I think that I was like taken aback by that when Jay said that. I thought that was a great observation. You don't want the star to come, and there's more pressure on bringing that kind of guy in than a normal recruit.
There we are. Will Weeks.
You know, the Bulldogs won't quit, I can tell you that much, the way they played all season long. They come with a bunch of fight in their game. And to this point, Villanova's execution has just been right on cue, especially shooting a 3 at 10 for 23 right now.
Archie Diacono again.
See what happens, Vern, when you double team the post and you have a guy like Ochefu who can pass it out of the post. Archie Diacono just had to get ready to shoot.
Diacono is Archie Diacono. I don't want to shorten his name, not after 4 years of working with it. He's got 14 points.
No double team, he goes one-on-one.
Yeah, off the glass.
Yeah, they got it primed. Villanova's figured it out here in the second half, and give Jay Wright credit because he started out, if you remember, Vern, first 6, well, little bump, big bump out there, but the first 6 buckets were in the paint.
Well, let's take a look as we go to break. Archie Diacono.
Okay. So that's from the double team, and now here's a single one-on-one. So they go outside first, then back inside for a bucket.
Welcome back to the Barclays, where Villanova is up 30 over UNC Asheville. Vern, Jim talked about Ryan Arcidiacono and how it was a no-brainer decision for him to play for Villanova. Both of his parents went to Villanova, but there was a moment when he was so close to signing with Florida that his mother was on the phone with Coach Wright, literally crying, saying, please don't let him go to Florida. He came in, did an outstanding job his first year there, and at the very first practice, there was a moment where he came down the court on defense, and Javon Pinkston drove into him. He took a big charge and earned a lot of respect from his teammates. Well, it was the next play when he was on offense. He drove down and went right at Javon Pinkston, a leader, an established leader on that team. Ended up breaking Pinkston's nose, and it was 2 weeks later, Coach made him the first ever freshman captain. Earned a lot of respect that day, that first day of practice, Vern and Jim.
Including the respect of his coach and his teammates.
Yeah, and it's one thing, as the coach would know from recruiting him, Vern, but when you're in a situation like that and they bring all the guys together for really the first time, you start to feel people out. For a young guy to take that challenge on, you know, Jay Wright probably knew what he was like in high school, but most of the guys he was competing against that early on in the practices and all the first day, they didn't know who he was and really what he was like.
Just to finish the paragraph, Jay Wright's wife, Patty, was a cheerleader at Villanova, along and best friends with Archie Diacono's mother.
There you go.
Yeah.
I think he would have done okay with Billy Donovan, too, though.
Oh, yes, I think so,
Donovan,
yeah.
Not so bad at what he does, just like Jay Wright.
That one's out of bounds. Turnover. Ryan Archie Diacono.
And he just understands how to play the game. That was a beautiful ball fake in the first half. Here he fills up a spot. Once again, talking about being able to see. That's the end of the first half. Shot off the dribble. Good understanding of the clock at that particular point. Raced it down the floor. Good skip pass.
Weeks. Crossover up. Got a little too deep.
He sure did. He was looking for Ochefu to block that shot, and he over-exaggerated. I think if he just went to the left a touch, he had him out of position defensively. He could have had him laid up.
Hutton. If you're on Twitter, a trending topic right now is hashtag True TV is a thing. For more information on what that could possibly mean, don't ask me. Check out hashtag on Twitter or go to trueTVIsAthing.com.
I'm going to tell you who a thing is.
Yeah.
You're a thing there in Twitter. In the Twitter world.
Oh, I really am, yeah. You ain't seen nothing like my Instagram and Facebook either. 4:40 to go in this one.
Good guy stepped out, gets a deflection.
Hart. Whoa, that one right behind Ochefu. He had the Archie's back to get out of the way, so Archie Diacono can catch it.
Whoa, watch out.
Went down hard. Traveled. Hart heads right to the bench.
Just the legs coming out from underneath him. That's not a foul. That is traveling there when he falls down. Well, he didn't have the possession, but he knew that he was being replaced by Booth, so he just got up and said, you know, I'm going to exit.
That was really a sudden run. 4:22 to go.
Maybe no one will know I turned the ball over if I get off the floor fast.
Sutton. Look at the trees in there.
Yep. Ochefu with another block.
Here's Archie Diacono. Back to Booth. Jump stop. Jenkins catch and release.
Looks like it's a little slippery on the lane just then. Another player almost went down.
Off the glass, no, but Kevin Vanatta will shoot free throws when we come back. Ochefu. No, not at all. Oh, gosh. Villanova 76-48. Look at the right-hand side. Second half field goals, 15 of 21. Vanatta shoots one more. I mentioned he's from Upper Arlington, Ohio. Went to the same high school as three fairly well-known figures in sports. Jack Nicklaus.
Who?
Woody Hayes.
Not bad.
Jim Tressel. Wow. Pretty good high school Hall of Fame.
Yeah, pretty good. Yeah, exactly.
I like the Nicklaus who.
Just seeing if you were listening to me.
Yeah, no, I always do. I always do. I've learned. Ah, nice. Chris Jenkins. Jumper, Jenkins.
Vern, this may be the first crazy thing I say today, if I had more of those. I think it's important with the next game when Villanova advances to make sure they play these last 3 minutes or so the way they've been playing this second half. Because you just want to leave the floor on a real high and know that you've been confident, you put it all together, and let's see how we can duplicate that for the next matchup, which is the winner of Iowa and Temple.
Well, there's something about elephant and room that comes to mind.
Okay.
With the second round in recent years for Villanova. Boy, they have just had such struggles getting out of the second round. And nobody wants to talk about it on the Villanova bench, but everybody in Villanova wants to talk about it. So, nice move here by Asheville. They've got John Cannon on the floor, number 41. He is the other senior on this team. I mentioned Sam Hughes, but Cannon, who doesn't play all that much, number 41. There he is. It's the first time you ever heard elephant in the room.
Oh, boy.
You know who? Al McGuire.
Okay.
First one I ever heard it from. He's getting a lot of airtime today.
He really is.
One of the great figures in the history of basketball. A beloved man. Vanatta. Thomas off the front rim. 2.5 to go.
We talked about the length of the guards for the Bulldogs, but you know, when you look around, I mean, there's length in certain spots for Nova, and they just keep shooting over the top. And Booth with a nice pull-up.
80-52. Jumper contested and a foul called. Who's going to make the most shots? Who has more points in the second half? If your brackets are already busted, play the Capital One NCAA Tournament Run Game on NCAA.com and in the March Madness Live app. Nick McDevitt is going to clear his bench and give his bench players a chance to have 2 minutes and 6 seconds of NCAA tournament experience. Vanatta's out. And the two freshman guards for Asheville. 25 points between them. They did have the turnovers, particularly in the first half.
But the effort was there all afternoon. You know, when you have a combination of what Villanova just threw at them in terms of shooting the ball, 11 for 26 from the three-point stripe, getting their bigs involved with the points in the paint.
And Sam Hughes has concluded his career. Nice congratulatory acknowledgement from his head coach. So 2 minutes to go. I wanted to wait and be exact. That ball is kicked. Phil Booth, Mikal Bridges, Kevin Rafferty is on there. It's Rafferty, not Raftery. Jumper good. And that's for three, 83-54. Trey Bryant is on the floor. And from the corner, number 2, no. That's Alec Wanook. I worked on that one just in case.
So Villanova, coming off that loss to Seton Hall, has responded pretty well in their first test.
Yep. There's the takeaway. And he's got his name in the box score. Trey Bryant, freshman from Wilmington, North Carolina. Less than a minute to go. Patrick Farrell, number 20. Henry Lowe into the corner. That's for 3.
What a great shot behind the Villanova bench. Forget about the bench, who are very happy for him, but the fans behind them, that was a terrific. Yeah, it was a great reaction.
So Patrick Farrell, a senior, just made his second 3 of the season.
Beautiful. Watch the people behind. They stand up. That a team chimes right in. Great moment.
Yep. Ball inbound. Alex Wanook, number 2. Giacomo Zili is also on the floor. That one's no good. And the final 15 seconds, they'll walk it up and put this one in the record book.
Good battle the first 10 minutes of this game for the Bulldogs. I thought they hung around with Jay Wright's team, but Jay Wright made some good adjustments. Second half, going deep to the big guys underneath the basket.
Nice conversation with Jay Wright, Nick McDevitt. Villanova, Jim, 72% from the field in the second half.
Started underneath. Vern, when you think about it, with those first 6 buckets, that will help your shooting percentages, no question about it.
Yes, it will. So let's advance them in the bracket, as the phrase goes. Villanova earns a spot in the second round here in Brooklyn, and it will be either Iowa or Temple as the opponent. You pointed out that at one point there were 4 players in double figures.
Yeah.
Nick McDevitt applauding the crowd as he heads over. Nice moment.
Yeah, and Villanova pretty much on the cruise control. I don't mean like they were not playing hard. They just had it. They were really efficient with their offense and ended up with 5 guys in double figures. Hart had 9. Booth had 7. Really, really good balance, Vern.
Well, let's check in with Allie, who's live with Jay Wright and Daniel Oshefu.
Coach, your team dominated from start to finish of this game. What were you most impressed with today?
Well, I don't know if we dominated the first half. We had a couple shots at the end that made it look like we dominated. We were up 14, but the first half, they're tough. They got a really good team, man. Coach McDevitt's got them. They're all young. They're going to be back here. It was impressive to watch film of them. But we got 2 great seniors, man. And you know, getting Daniel back healthy is huge for us. And Ryan's leadership on the floor just makes everybody better.
Your team had 21 assists on 31 made baskets. When you hear that stat, what does it make you think?
That means we're playing the right way. You know, we're sharing the ball. And like I said, the beauty of Daniel is not that he can score, is he's a great passer. He's an underrated passer, and he gets everybody shots.
Let's not avoid the elephant in the room. How do you take the positives from today and get out of this first weekend for the first time since '09?
Honestly, we finally get to play that game that everybody's been talking about this game since we lost last year. They didn't talk about anything else. So I think for all these guys, it's a relief to just get to this game, and we're fired up to play.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks.
Daniel, what a game for you. 17 points, 10 rebounds. You threw a couple dunks in there as well. How much fun is it to win in that way?
Oh, it's a lot of fun, just being there for my teammates. And, my teammates have a lot of confidence in me giving the ball in the right spot. So it was easy for me to get those points like that.
I think if there was any doubts about your ankle, you proved everybody wrong and showed them that it was okay. How is it feeling after that long game?
Oh, it feels great, and that goes all to our training staff and our strength and conditioning coach. They did a great job with me when I was out, just rehabbing me, getting me back to 100%.
Thank you, and good luck.
Thank you.
All right, Allie, thank you. Daniel, Jay, thank you. Big win for Villanova. They advance to the second round. Tournament games continue live on CBS, TNT, and TBS. Temple versus Iowa coming up on True TV. We'll send you to our studio after these messages.